Facts.
My boy Larry June, guess what he say? I'm very organic, bitch.
That nigga probably
I'm
don't.
very organic.
Don't do shit.
Yeah.
No. That makes sense. My nigga Larry June said,
Nah, man, y'all about to understand. Y'all gotta understand what I'm talking about.
That shit caught me
So
off
I'm
guard.
listening to some down south. I got too many
organic.
I'm unnecessary. Then I'm listening to this nigga talking about organic. He got a song called Organic Green Juice, Organic Fatherhood. Come on, man.
I'm in the wrong place to be real. All night, craving to hold you just for a night. Kissing and hugging, I'm holding you tight. Please let me love you with all my might. All right, I'm done.
You need some of this lemon.
I'm done. I'm done.
I ain't gonna hit that note, but you know.
I'm gonna hit you like homeboy from Hustle and Flow. Push that shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Well, hopefully not boys and girls, because this is MA show, mature audience. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Great Apes Cafe. I'm your boy Timothy Raw. Of course, I have my candidates here. My realest niggas alive here. Cool Kev and my nigga Tayshawn. But we have a special guest who has been on here plenty of times and shall be on here plenty of other episodes in the future. Izzy.
Hey, why that nigga look like a guest preacher at a church? He was standing like this.
And the topic of discussion we're going to be starting off is a little bit hip-hop. It's a little bit sci-fi.
Damn, nigga, you ain't gonna let us introduce ourselves? You just gonna introduce us for us? You gonna let it introduce ourselves?
Y'all rather for me to let y'all introduce yourselves?
I mean, that's how we've been doing it.
Okay. I mean,
start off with the guest.
I'm trying to be on my real shit. Okay, so my name, of course, I mean, not be narky to start off. Let's start off with the guest. What's your name, Chief?
Yo, it's your boy Iz. It is what it is. Now I want to know Boko. You already know what the flow. You already know. I ain't gotta say nothing else past the mic.
AKA Negus. I'm your boy Tim Tom Bomb. AKA Timothy Raw. AKA No Bandana Timothy. AKA Tim Tom Bomb. I got many AKAs. We could go on forever about that, but you already know who I am.
It's your boy Cool Kev, aka Bender. You know, I done been through a lot of situations. Been here, been there, been up, been down. You know what I'm saying? Been around.
Been there. Done.
I ain't got all that cool. I've been drinking. My bad.
Start over, man.
Yeah. Start over. I've been drinking. Listen, but I ain't got all that cool analytics, antidotes, all that bullshit, whatever you call it. But it's who that boy be that boy Tay.
Who that boy?
Simple
that
like
boy.
that. Simple like that, man. I've been drinking.
Don't you open up that antidote?
Cafe. So now that they got their introductory pass, we're going to be talking about some topics that definitely should resonate with some people. Leave a comment and see
Subscribe.
what we should talk about. Subscribe.
Hit that button.
But I'm going to have Izzy start off the conversation because we talked about hip-hop earlier. So we're going to start hip-hop, a little bit of sci-fi, a little bit of warfare. And we ain't gonna even know what Tay. I can't even dare to say what Tay want to talk about. My God,
Big booty hoes, big booty.
I'm jangling.
It is
But anyway,
Friday.
Don't portray me like that. I'm an innocent young man.
Yo, what's wrong with that, man?
He lying.
You
Look
can't
at
be
his
an
face. Do he look
upstanding.
innocent?
You can't be an upstanding citizen and still like big bitches. Like you can like both.
Hey,
listen.
Hey, you right now.
Hey, listen, it was a president that liked bitches. And see what got him.
Shut the fuck up.
See what that got him.
That was one of the realest presidents now. Bill Clinton with me talking about Monica Lewinsky. Okay, off subject. So anyway, on subject.
Anyway.
What's the subject we going to start off with the hip hop? What we talked about earlier?
All right. So first question I got for everybody here at the table. All right, bet. What album?
Microphone check.
What album is y'all like bumping right now, hip hop wise? Like, what y'all really listening to? Like, what's got you motivated? Like, when you get up and you about to, go grind for the day. Like, what you bumping? You feel me?
They don't know.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I don't care what nobody say, man. I be on that little Uzi wave, man, because you know, like I got too many hoes, yeah. I'm unnecessary.
Okay. What you on, Tay? Tay don't even know he's calling through his phone. That's a bad.
No.
That's a warning sign.
Checking Spotify real quick for that.
I'm still on that. I'm still on that ride wave, man. I'm on my ride wave.
Oh,
shit,
facts.
man.
I respect that.
That's what I'm riding with right now. You know what I'm saying.
I may sound narky as fuck, but I've been in the lab making music. I have not been listening.
The nigga said,
Nigga said I'm on that Timothy Raw. I'm on that Timothy Raw.
You on that Timothy Raw, bro?
I've been I've written 5 tracks today. I haven't done that since 2015, so you know where I'm at. 5 tracks in one day. Ooh, writing.
Hey, if you ain't your own fan, like if you ain't your own biggest fan,
when I get in those modes like that, I don't need to listen to nobody else. I need to listen to myself. I need to lose myself.
I understand that.
And find myself at the same time. So I'm like, shout out to everybody who I was fucking with. The last album I actually was fucking with was Busta Rhymes, the last album that came out.
You talking about Extinction Evolution?
Yo,
that shit go hard, bro.
That was the last album.
Fucking Rick Ross on the Muhammad track.
Hey, you don't try to. He's trying to watch that me. Hey, yo, RP to DMX. I heard that album got dropped. I had to listen to it. I have it, but I have not ear hustled yet. And granted, I actually had to pay for it. This is the first album I paid in a decade. So shout out to DMX. Make sure you actually pay for it. Because, you know, I used to be on that other shit.
That's going to his kids,
It's going to his kids.
That's going to his generation, his legacy.
Facts. And I'm also, I already got J. Cole album. This new album. I have not, I'm going to be honest with you. I have not finished it or started because I'm so much in the matrix right now. But when I get finished writing, I'm working on, 31 songs of How I Can Read My Words, Kill Me, and Samples Heal Me. When I finish that, I'm damn sure going to listen to J. Cole. Then I'm going to turn around and listen to that DMX. And I got to listen to Busta Rhymes again in that same
You
order.
got to. All right, so what I'm bumping right now besides Extinction Level, because that shit fire.
Bro, what?
Listen, that shit fire.
And what he said about Megan Thee Stallion?
Bruh.
The way he said Megan Thee Stallion.
Right.
See, they ain't even listen. They don't know. My niggas don't know. Megan Thee Stallion.
No. But
Stallion.
Hold on, because I'm getting to a point here. All right, bet. So what I'm bumping right now is a combination between that Czarface, which is Czarface. Y'all niggas don't know Czarface.
Okay.
Is,
Okay.
Esoteric, 7L, and
they don't know. They not hip hop
and
heads.
Inspected Deck. But they ain't got
right now.
But it's cool though. There's a whole. We gonna get to that though. We gonna segue.
They don't even. I'm
gonna tell y'all what I really.
Cool,
I want to tell y'all what I really listen to, man. I don't know.
Nigga, you already said Little Uzi.
Man, I listen to Lil Uzi.
That's enough. That's enough. You already said Little Uzi.
Hey, nah, look. I listen to that Uzi. But if y'all ain't listening to my boy Larry June.
Wait. Why that name sound familiar?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Why that name sound? I heard that name.
My boy Larry June is crack, man. Y'all go to YouTube, look up Larry June, man.
Did you had him on Facebook the other day?
I probably was playing.
I heard some of his music, I think.
Man, fire, man. Man, fire, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? He just like OG dude from the street. He don't need game, man.
NC Cat.
Yeah, shout out to people who don't.
NC Cat. Like he from
Nah, man. This West Side.
Okay, but even still, that makes it even better. Like I love when niggas are able to like pull up, bros from like underground, but they all the way on the West Coast, so they like Midwest some shit. Because that means like you really am doing your research.
I mix the sauce up, like so. I'm on Uzi, I'm on Larry. You know what I'm saying?
You on Uzi though, right?
But there's a balance. It's a balance to it. It's a balance to it. Cause like Pete,
I mix the South with the South with the
West.
West.
Be mad. I might get canceled. Little Uzi Vert is not on.
Why would you get canceled over Lil Uzi though?
My last song I actually fucked with Lil Uzi Vert was "What's Way to the Edge? All my friends are dead." That song,
hey, that's some funny shit. Hey, I was working at Lowe's about a couple years ago, and this little kid was walking with his mama and his sister. And they was like, push me to the edge. All my friends are dead. She was like, shut up. Don't talk about that. Boy, I'll try to tell you, when somebody was in that bitch rolling, boy, she was like, shut up. She was like, push me to the edge. And his sister was like, all my friends are dead.
Man, look, that's a whole segue as to what I'm getting at. All right, you say you listen to Vert. You say you listen to your own shit. I'm on some other shit. You on some other shit. But at the end of the day, it's all the culture. Facts.
Right.
Facts.
Right.
It's all the culture.
Facts.
I bet. So going back to that whole situation where, you know what I'm saying, the moms was, like, oh, my friends are dead. Don't you fucking say that. The fuck you saying that for? All your friends is alive.
I'm gonna tell your fucking dad when you get home.
Yeah. Okay. So it's always been a certain disconnect with white white audiences in hip hop when it comes to like what we speaking on and in terms of like how we voice what we feeling. You know what I'm saying? For example, my nigga over here say he listen to Lil Uzi Vert. How many quote unquote gatekeepers, like white gatekeepers, are like Lil Uzi Vert ain't hip hop. Real hip hop is the niggas from not. They ain't saying niggas. Hopefully they ain't saying niggas. I'll duff your ass.
No, they saying
white.
niggas.
Duff.
They still saying niggas.
They
Yeah,
saying niggas.
they still saying niggas. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Still saying
all these niggas. I fuck with all the niggas that's dead. What about Big L? Man, fuck all that big. And that's where it comes to a point where white hip hop audiences aren't receptive to the broader scope of hip hop. That there's more than just the conscious shit. There's more than, you know what I'm saying, than your Big L's, than your Tupacs. Why are all your top 5 favorite rappers dead? You know what I'm saying?
Ooh,
like
microphone check.
Why
Yeah.
all your top favorite rappers dead? Like why you ain't fucking with who? Why you ain't fucking with who's popping now? You know what I'm saying? We popping with who's rocking now. You know what I'm saying? Like my whole playlist ranges from NLE Chopper to Mick Jenkins to Rhapsody. Like I don't expect niggas to know like all the names I name, but just know that list is broad and that's how we are. Like you may say like you listen to Uzi Vert, but like you got something on the other end of the spectrum that you bumping.
Hey, look, this is what I'm telling y'all. See, Uzi tell you about the female perspective, but Larry, he tell you about the streets.
And that's what I'm saying. Every dude got something that's on like it's a broad
That's
spectrum.
actually true. I can't even argue. I can't even disagree with that. I'm trying to find some disagreement.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to.
I'm good at. No, trust me. I normally like to disagree with my anybody on the podcast, but
I just need a little bit more. Can you expound on it just a little bit more? I'm just trying.
Okay, I'm going to give you an example.
Let me interject though.
Okay,
I would say
go
this
ahead.
though. I would say this. It is very important, I think, for anybody to understand that when you ask for your top 5, you also should give enough respect to the artist to separate top 5 and legendary. Like some people you can't put like I'm gonna give you a prime example. I can't put Biggie in my top 5 because he's in his own bracket. He's in the legendary. That's how much respect. You know what I mean? Why put somebody who's deceased, RIP to the deceased? Why put somebody in your top 5 who's no longer alive to make more music? Like it's kind of cliche. Okay, Biggie, Tupac, Big L. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, what? That's cliche. I'm not knocking anybody to put them in the top 5. I just think that I have so much respect for Tupac, Big L, to not put them in a top 5. That gotta be at a higher category.
Your reverence extends farther than any ranking can. And that's the issue with the game now, is that everybody got their own rankings. Fuck the rankings. We still respect niggas regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Fuck the rankings, you know? And that's why I feel like we get caught up on too much is, we get caught up too much on is, nigga, who's better than who? When at the end of the day, it's all culture. You feel me? Like, that's why I'm saying I'm gonna bump Migos all day. I may not look like a nigga that's gonna bump Migos. I may not look like a nigga that bump Gucci. But here's the thing. And I say that not for the brothers and not for the sisters. I say that for my white audience members. And the reason why is because there's a misconception with white hip-hop fans where they think that because you fit a certain bill, you can't enjoy all aspects of the culture. And I think the point, like you said, the point that I'm trying to get across is the fact that we all recognize every single facet of the culture, but when it comes to like white audience members, they don't. Like they see like new hip hop acts or new like hip hop artists as going against the grind of what hip hop is in terms of like what they think the culture was, because they base it off of the golden era 90s.
Let me interject. Do you think that's cliche? Like that's common? Do you think that's actually common?
I think it is a common thing. Like, okay, think about this. How many of your white friends got Eminem in their top?
All of them. Shout out to my white friends. You know who you are.
I'm not.
How many of your white friends got Logic in their top? No. I'll wait.
Oh wait.
How many?
I don't know. None of my white friends got Logic.
Because they don't know who Logic is. If they don't know, if they don't know who Logic is, that's because they're not real hip hop.
No. But no, that's
shout out to
that's
Logic.
fine. No, it's
not in my
even
top
that.
5 though. But shout out to Logic.
My thing is that all right. So we all don't gotta tell each other what to look up in hip hop because it's a part of us. So we automatically gonna like search for the shit that pulls us, whether it's more trap shit, like Griselda, where it's more Shakespearean hip hop, or whether it's more, like in the club, like Famous Dex, shit like that. Like we don't gotta like necessarily research it because it's already there.
I ain't gonna lie, Famous Dex is
fire. Famous Dex is a nigga that recognized who he is in the industry, but still respects the old heads.
Hey, hold on, let me interject. Shout out to my nigga DJ Barbarian. DJ Barbarian and my nigga Jamal, aka 40. What's the name? 42. I'm sorry, 42. God forgive me. So my nigga, Famous Dex is one of his top 50. Cause I swear, he put me on Famous Dex. You know who you are.
Yo, Young Dolph is in my top. Like real shit. Young Dolph will always be in my top. We talking about a nigga that is independent through and through. But this is what I'm getting at. White audience members are only going to go after what they can relate to. Why do you think? Okay, so why do you think that? Talk to your average white hip hop listener, and I guarantee you, they'll tell you that Russ is somewhere up there. They'll tell you that Eminem is somewhere up there. They'll tell you that MGK is somewhere.
I'm not gonna lie.
They'll tell you that Tupac is somewhere up there. Though, but what is wrong with that picture?
Let me interject on this. Out of anybody, when people tell me about Eminem in their top 5, I feel like that's the easy way out. But at the same time, I can't get mad.
No, you can't get mad at it.
Can't get mad.
No.
Not when it comes to Eminem.
This whole thing is not going against like Eminem's, credentials, but it's going against more so the fact that white audience members of hip hop tend to hold white rappers at a higher regard than who we consider to be the GOATs.
I believe that.
This dude was like,
I'm gonna say what he just said is 97% right.
This dude was like,
I think I said that.
Hi kids, would you like me to stick a needle through my eyelids?
Well, who said that?
Eminem.
Eminem was nice. Eminem was nasty,
man.
Eminem, his pen is different.
No, his pen is different. But Lord Jamar said it best. I can't relate to this nigga.
Hey yo, I heard.
Lord Jamar,
I'm gonna tell y'all
that nigga be doing the most.
I gotta tell y'all some real junk. I heard a dude say, we need the Eminem that was on drugs. We don't want the new Eminem no more. They want the Eminem on drugs
because they want.
They want the old Eminem. They want him to be an addict
because they want the artistry without the respect for the artist. Like that's some shit that you would say if you're not an artist. You feel me? Like going back to the Lil Uzi Vert situation. You know what I'm saying? Or going back to let's go to Wayne. Let's go to Wayne for a second.
Before you even talk about Wayne, let me ask you this question. That is a layer on top of the subject we talk about right now. Do you think it's necessary for artists to actually have a form of a drug addiction and or be high and or be on drugs to actually be considered top tier?
No, because K-Dot don't do shit.
K-Dot facts.
My boy Larry June, guess what he say? I'm very organic, bitch.
That nigga probably
don't. Very organic.
Don't do shit.
Yeah,
no. That makes sense. My nigga Larry June said,
"Nah, man, y'all about to understand. Y'all gotta understand what I'm talking about."
That shit caught me.
So I'm listening to some down south. I got too many
organic.
I'm unnecessary. Then I'm listening to this nigga talking about organic. He got a song called Organic Green Juice, Organic Fatherhood. Come on, man. This shit is organic. You feel me? So I'm on some very organic shit.
That nigga said,
and I'm on some
organic.
You know what I mean? Like
everything.
But you get what the nigga's saying though, right?
Yeah.
Like you vibing with that shit.
Yeah.
How much you want to bet white audience don't get what the nigga is saying?
That man says, His man says
Most
it's 5
niggas
in the
don't
morning.
get what the fuck
I'm
you
trying to
saying.
get it.
That's fact.
Up in the morning, I'm trying to handle this business.
No.
I'm organic everything, nigga.
I ain't even take a shower. I went straight to the chicken. I be up at 5, but I'm there by 9. But I'm never really done because I'm always grind.
Always grime is more like shit.
I'm
gonna say
always
this
grind.
though. I feel like
But the industry promotes that.
I
shit,
feel
bro.
like I
that's-
know
that's the
I feel
only
like
thing
there's
you
a
see.
higher.
But I don't blame it on the industry. And the reason why I don't blame it on the industry is because if you're really part of the culture, then you already know and have been known for years
So let me ask
what
you
the
this question.
industry is on. Therefore, you already know how to move when it comes to like when the industry releases music. That's why I have no like excuse for any like white hip hop,
But
fans.
do you
because
think that it's a form of whitewashing when it comes to artists or people in general only recognizing white artists and not black artists?
I think
When hip hop is created or
I think-
subjected to be created,
I think it's
by
an
those who are black.
indirect. I think it's an indirect whitewashing. I don't think anybody is like
purposely doing that. Right, right,
Yeah, I
right,
don't
right.
think anybody is purposely trying to whitewash anything.
so, but it's indirectly.
I just think it's one part you gravitate towards shit that relates to you, and it's another part of I look at it as privilege. Like you listen to like only a certain set, and then of course, if you look at like white hip hop fans and what they take in and what they receive in terms of hip hop, a lot of it is either modern white rappers or modern rappers that are quote unquote conscious, or it's 90s golden era.
Actually,
You know what I'm saying?
I gotta agree with. I hate that I agree with you because the first person I'm
Because
thinking about
they
right now
think that
is
golden
Macklemore.
era. Macklemore. Okay, so we're not gonna talk. no. We're not gonna talk about Macklemore.
This
Because, like,
nigga
Macklemore-
won
I had an argument.
hip hop album of the year.
I had an argument with.
Yeah, but he had. But listen,
What the
he
fuck?
messaged K Dot after the award show saying, "Oh man, bro, you should have won that, LOL," or something along them lines. Like, I'm sorry, if I'm Macklemore, what part of my white guilt is having me message K Dot after the Grammys talking about you should have won that shit, bro, LOL? Like, no, fuck that.
Hey, hold on. I just got something to say. Who's that?
K Dot.
No, Macklemore.
Hold up. Hey, that's the point. That's the point.
Who is
That's
that?
the point.
in point.
That's the point. Who's
Case in point.
Awesome. I love
Case
you.
in point. Okay. No, but
Like,
you,
what kind of
you
music? What
just
this shit sound
I don't
like?
like Macklemore. I'm
You
sorry.
just
he had that
proved my
one-
point.
he
I'm talking about like
Shop
this quote,
song.
He had
bar
that,
or
he had that
something.
little one song here.
I'm gonna pop some. I'm gonna pop some tags.
I'm not hating.
I got $20 in my pocket. It was like
I
some
got a
verse-
21 in my pocket.
I still don't know that shit.
Let me tell you something. I'm not knocking
That- you
Macklemore,
just
but I
proved
don't
my
like
point.
Macklemore. I'm sorry. I
Just proved my
don't-
point.
I don't like
Is
you.
that going back to like?
I'm just don't.
All right, so we all know what gatekeepers are and what gatekeepers in hip hop are. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's old heads, whether it's white folks, they the ones that's like, oh man, shit ain't popping like used to. Who this right here? All this mo rap
Hey,
shit.
but-
Fuck all
but
that.
we're gonna talk
Man,
about
back
the-
in my day. We had Curtis
If
Blow.
we're gonna talk about the white gatekeepers, please keep it real and talk about the black gatekeepers.
That's what I'm
too.
talking about.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like you have old heads that's like, hey yo, y'all, young blood, you don't know nothing about this shit back in the day. This shit right here used to hit. Yeah,
So-
man, fuck all this other shit. And they talk. This is my
Some will
rebuttal.
argue-
Hold on.
some
This
will
is
argue
my
that the-
rebuttal to that though.
Some will argue
Y'all
that the
had
black
Two Live Crew. Y'all had Two Live Crew talking about pop
Very
that
true.
pussy. You mean to tell me I can't have Nicki or fucking DJ Shows talking about that bitch thick? Get the fuck out of here, man. If it wasn't for Uncle Luke, respect, we would not have the fucking parental advisory label. So that's what I'm saying. Like every generation has its balance. You know what I'm saying?
And
Back
NWA
then,
and NWA in the history of parental advisory, but continue.
exactly. So
Had to
everything
make
got
sure
its
history.
balance. You know what I'm
Little
saying?
history.
Back in the day, it might not have been Gucci, but it was still Two Live Crew and it was still NWA.
They don't know.
On
My young niggas don't know nothing about Two Live Crew. They
I'm
don't-
saying, and then on the other side of the spectrum,
Captain D, Captain D, come, Captain D, come, Captain D, come, Captain D, come. Pop that pussy, pop that pussy.
that's his main thing.
Yeah.
Man, the boys was just getting some. I was about to say something.
They was fucking a lot of hoes back
They
then,
was,
boys.
and that's what I'm saying.
Them boys was
White
getting
folks-
laid.
White folks don't understand the balance of our culture. You know what I'm saying? Between knowledge and between, I don't want to say ratchetness. I want to say freedom, because essentially that's what it is.
Well, let me
It's freedom
interject
to
on
us.
this though. What the question becomes now, or that it's becoming, is what if one of my white audience members are watching this podcast, what do they need to do to be informed of hip hop culture. When somebody do ask them, who's your top 5? Because maybe they don't know how to navigate.
But that's the thing. You have to learn how to navigate. Ain't nobody can tell you how to navigate through the culture. You know what I'm saying? You have to do it yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate when someone tells me, well, put me on. Let me know what you listen to, this and the other, especially if it's someone that's not in my friend group, because then now you making me do the work for you. Yeah. It's no different. And it's no different than like if you, a white person, asking, I want to learn want to learn about Black Lives Matter. Well, do the research, because we've been around long enough. We get tired of explaining shit to you.
More tough.
And so it's the same thing in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? If you want to respect our culture, if you want to have reverence for our shit, then learn the shit, because motherfuckers get exhausted trying to teach you how.
Exactly. And I don't claim to be a hip hop head. You know what I'm saying? I just listen to what I listen to.
I am.
Yeah, so I'm not the person you should come to if you want to learn about the culture. But if you want to learn about what I'm listening to, you know what I'm saying? I might tell you, listen to Lil Rod Wave. I love 90s music, personally. So, I'm stuck in the 90s.
Tay's a baby here, however.
I'm stuck in the 90s, man.
My nigga was jamming out with me with Sean Paul. And y'all know nothing about, I'm not talking about reggaeton. Shout out to my reggaeton artists. And I'm not talking about Daddy Yankee either. I'm talking about dance hall. When the girls shake that hiney, you know who you are. I'm talking about the Sean Paul. I'm talking about the
Bedroom Bully.
I'm talking about what's that nigga name?
Girl, the way that I'm, I wanna be keeping you on. I got the right to shelter you from the storm. Oh Lord, when I got the right tactics to turn you on.
Everyone fall in love.
I'm talking about Elephant Man. I'm talking about Shabba Ranks. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Shabba Ranks.
Hey, nigga.
That's what I'm talking about. Let me tell y'all something. Real dance hall, you know, with a pondy way.
They don't know nothing about that shit. They don't know about what it is. Time moves about time coming towards y'all.
That's what I'm talking about. That's real 90s music.
Yeah. But like, I knock nothing against 90s music or like 90s era, golden era hip hop. What I knock is when people that weren't born in the culture try to gatekeep the highlights of the culture without accepting or even respecting the predecessors of said golden era.
Some argue,
or not predecessors, but like, you know, the product of the golden era.
But some argue that they don't know. Maybe they don't know. Some argue that the reason why they want to bring up somebody like, of course, B.I.G. or Big L or Pac.
Well, then that's not Eminem, my. But see, that's not.
They don't know.
Listen, do they need to know? It is 2021. It has been 31 years since 1990. It is not my place to like monitor whatever is on your Walkman.
I'm a 90s baby. Don't be telling my age.
But can you fault them though because there's a lot of black gatekeepers who already told you after the 90s hip hop was dead.
Yeah, I can fault them as well.
That's what I'm saying. So they have a big one though, because they're looking at them. They're part of the culture.
Give me an example of a black gatekeeper. Give me just one example. Or do you don't want to say the name?
I don't want to say the names, but you have some of those artists back in the 80s and 90s.
You know who you are.
Who would tell you hip hop died in the 2000s. And then they said it's definitely dead in 2010.
But my nigga Nas resurrected.
Nas didn't resurrected. What you talking about? My man Soulja Boy resurrected.
Soulja Boy is a fucking legend.
Soulja Boy is a legend.
I don't care what nobody say. Soulja Boy is a legend.
Name
Draco.
No,
Drake. That nigga Drake.
No, real shit though. And like you said, this goes back to like why I can't stand gatekeeping. Don't matter who the fuck it is. Like. The culture is going to evolve.
It's crazy how they try to fucking downplay what he's done for hip hop. He's done a lot.
He is OD.
No, he's not.
No, he's not. Ringtones, YouTube. Come on, man. That man's a fucking legend.
Man, fucking okay. You know. Wait. You know that Rick Ross shit, right? No. Rick Roll, like
Rick Roll.
Rick Roll. You know the Rick Roll.
Yeah, Big Rick Roll. Yeah.
Soulja Boy did the same shit with his music. My man was a master of marketing before anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like he was out there on MySpace and the internet.
Like I know of that, but when somebody
the world don't know that because they keep disrespecting that man. That man's a fucking legend.
Listen, my man had hits.
I ain't gonna lie, I used to do so.
Yeah, bitch, yeah.
Freshman year, I never forget. Not freshman year, 8th grade, middle school.
I'm
gonna take that back. I never was an 8th grade student. I skipped 8th grade. 7th grade, middle school.
Look at you smart motherfucker.
I had to skip it because I was behind a grade. I had to skip it. You know, thank you. Shout out to Miss Underwood back in the day. But anyway, we was cranking that Soulja Boy. Yo, Soulja Boy up in it. Watch me lean it.
Okay, so we was doing Soulja Boy back then.
That's what MySpace was.
What's everybody doing now? TikTok dances, you know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Motherfuckers getting famous off of their songs popping on TikTok. And then, you know, you got.
But this why I get mad at when Soulja Boy go out.
It's no different. It's
don't
all
attack
marketing.
Me now. Soulja Boy, if you see this, which he probably ain't.
Soulja Boy.
Don't attack me. Listen. When a nigga go out and be like, I did this, and this.
You did.
Put some respect on my name. When he go out, Drake, who? Like, I'm thinking like, nigga, like for me, I already put respect on your name.
You did.
You do. The world don't.
Motherfuckers don't. And that's the whole point that I'm getting across is that there are parts of our culture that's lost to like the masses because it's underappreciated. It's either underappreciated for its time or it's underappreciated.
And then it's fucked up for people who came before him who try to downplay
I'm gonna let
his
y'all know
part in
how
the
old
culture.
I am. MySpace was on before Facebook. I used to fuck with the coding.
Of course, MySpace.
JavaScript. I used to
I'd rather go back to MySpace than Facebook
and make sure
nigga be putting niggas in jail. And
I used to have my music. I used to have my music on. So you get to click on my page and music be playing right. I had 55, 60 songs. Boy, y'all don't know nothing about that.
All of them was kamikaze shit. Featuring Barbarian on the production.
Hey, I bet all y'all niggas had that SpongeBob background with the damn gun and shit.
I had Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I was a little bit extra. I had that black and white flashy shit. So you click on the page, that shit flash in that JavaScript.
How much time you spend like hours on?
I swear to God,
go to
boy.
high school, like my freshman year of high school, I had my MySpace page was the
changing that shit
page
every
in the
week.
world.
I
changed that shit like clockwork. Add a little waterfall inside, so when the bitch just click on it, like, ooh, that's Timothy. Oh,
What no bitch saying
but
that?
at all.
Hey, you never know.
DMs was dry.
DMs was a little bit lit.
But like
DMs
on some real shit though, like the point that I'm getting across in the grand scheme of things is that there's a way to have respect for the culture, you know what I'm saying, and have reverence for it, you know. And I don't think, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because white people as consumers of hip hop have the privilege to not be aware and sometimes not even pay attention to like some of the lyrics that real niggas are saying. Whether it's niggas in the streets, whether it's someone like Lil Durk or whether it's someone like Lupe Fiasco on both sides of the spectrums versus culture is being lost because of either a lack of appreciation or connection. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't connect.
Right.
There you go.
I'm about before we start changing subject, I gotta highlight this though.
I'm still ignorant.
The argument of my Caucasian alliance is that they would argue that they don't know what you're talking about. They don't know the history. They don't know that hip hop originated in New York.
Do they?
They don't know the arguments between, did it happen in the Bronx? Or did it happen in Queens? Or did it happen in Brooklyn?
The white gatekeepers.
They don't know about the DJ back in the day. Listen.
He ain't lying though.
They don't know about hip hop before 1987.
I don't know, but see, that's the
thing.
They don't know
that the DJ was bigger than the rapper.
There's two. They don't know
that.
There's two different white gatekeepers though. There's the white gatekeepers that can tell your hip hop culture better than you.
Exactly.
And then there are those that are in it for the ride. You feel, if you feel what I'm saying.
Ain't nobody go. I'm white or black. I'm gonna let you know right now.
I got something to say.
I'm gonna give you a prime example, and you know who you are. Let me throw some shade on you.
Hold on, I want to hear what Kev got to say.
Before Kev, I'm
gonna let him go first.
So this is
I'm gonna break this down.
This is a situation that happened for an individual who made an instrumental. You know who you are. He tried to say that he made an instrumental, but it was Tribe Called Quest. Bitch! You think I ain't gonna know my history? You think I'm gonna be bamboozled?
That's not what we saying.
You know, no. I'm just giving you an example. Don't try to. Don't ever test me on my history of hip hop. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Trust me, many niggas test me and they failed. Continue.
All right. So I just want to know, right? How come? I mean, like you might not even hear the words on somebody's joint. I mean, most of the videos you see with the other, you know, not this right here. You know, all you hear is Molly Percocet. I'm talking about they can be doing. It can be a random video about. It can
That's
be a
a
random
different
video.
subject. Kev, you
It can
ain't
be.
gonna lie.
It can be a random video about anything, but you hear the beat.
I'm about to. Whoa. I'm about to respond.
Go ahead, respond.
I grew up in the era when
So what you're
the
saying
artist
is like
who was selling drugs was respected. Now it's the artist who's
hold on,
doing drugs.
Well, it's not
Continue.
even that. So like you saying like why do white audiences consume that type of hip hop over other shit?
Yeah, so
why? You want to know? You want to know why?
You gotta think about it. Look, this
white
something
people,
to think about.
white people consume. My bad. Because white people consuming drugs is considered more acceptable than black people consuming drugs. That's why. Think about that. White people have more accessibility to rehab than black people. When black people are on drugs, what do we get? We get the clinker. When white people get drugs, what do they get? They get cozy rehab out in California.
Hey, guess what? Guess what though? Future don't even do the drugs like that.
That's just how it is. Like why that's why you have white audiences gravitating more towards drug rap.
Drugs like that though.
And that's why I love. That's why I love listening to Mason, man. That's why I love.
Future is one of my favorite.
Song hot as hell, right?
I'm not gonna lie.
He ain't
But
doing
you're right,
that.
Israel. You're right. I hate that I have to agree with you, but you're right because
we're gonna have to change the
if
subject.
I
I
have
don't
a
know
drug
shit about
addiction-
this right now. I'm looking like a damn fool over here.
We'll change
We about to change the subject.
Pass that my way. But when you get done,
You don't know. Shout out to
Hey
that
man,
blue
hold on.
shark,
Shout out
boy.
baby girl one more time.
Shout out to Blue Shark. Anyway, I'm gonna say this real quick. If I'm having a drug addiction, statistically speaking, I'm more likely. That was smooth. Statistically speaking, I'm more likely to actually go to a penitentiary, or thrown into a facility that deals with the mentally impaired than to actually throw into a rehab center. And that's just the way it is. And it's a great sadness. I feel like that we need to change that.
Hey,
And
before we change the subject, I do want to give facts to you listening to Busta Rhymes, because Busta Rhymes had that song In the Ghetto. Man, like yo, you gotta respect Busta though, man. That man been
Yeah, I was only.
that man went from woo-ha, got you all in check.
like a
So,
dungeon dragon.
You know, he grew up. You know, you see over time in the ghetto. In the ghetto.
Busta Rhymes has always been my top 5. However, it's artists have to put in a different category.
That's a
because
gatekeeper
he's
to me.
legendary.
If you want to know like what's a black gatekeeper.
He's a legendary though.
He's a
Even
gatekeeper.
if he's not a gatekeeper, let's say he is.
But
He a gatekeeper.
I'm not gonna
bro.
give gatekeeper. I don't want to give it a full negative connotation. It just so happens that a majority of the time, gatekeeper is used as a negative connotation. But there are positive gatekeepers, like you said. Bus is one of them.
Yeah.
Definitely,
That's
most definitely.
But we can switch it up, man. We can switch it. Let's switch
Let's
it up.
go ahead and
Definitely
switch topics.
it up. Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, that was a good topic, Israel. I gotta let
That
you know.
shit wasn't a good topic, man. I was sitting here looking dumb as hell.
That's because he
That's
doesn't.
only because
I don't know
you know what you listening to.
Yeah.
And he listened
but
to
that's fine, though.
NSYNC and Justin Timberlake.
Bye.
And that song that what's that one song? Eeny weeny, teeny weeny, shribbles. That's it.
Yellow polka dot bikini. That's
Fuck
it.
you.
That she wore for the first time today.
So
Poker face, poker face.
yeah, shit. I'm trying to figure out
He
what
denied it.
Been drinking, man. I don't know what to talk about. Fuck you, Tim.
No,
Shit.
but nah, let's quit. We about to have a subject change. We just talk about what my nigga Israel talked about. What do you want to talk about?
Don't ask me. I'm drunk.
Okay, so we get to you last. I had a situation that somebody came up with me, and they want me to talk about the fact of the United States of America having a form of declassifying unidentified flying objects or UFOs.
And we've been new motherfuckers.
Hold on. Wait.
Before we start diving into that, let me tell you. Let me give you the conspiracy of what
All right,
I
bet.
know. So there's documentation stating that United States of America, Russia, China, and the top 7 countries of this world want to slowly declassify information that otherwise would be top secret to get us prepared for a great awakening. Now that is what that statement I just said. It is the highest level. I'm not going to lie. That is the highest level of conspiracy. It's a lot of people who would disagree that I even make that statement.
Conspiracy if the shit is true.
But it's not really conspiracy though.
That shit true.
They slowly,
ain't conspiracy if the shit is true.
There's an article I read in CNN. It's CNN.
What the fuck they trying to go to space for?
Listen. It stated that the unidentified flying objects still doesn't signify a form of proof of what you may call extraterrestrial life. We just know that it's unidentified. Now, let this sink in real quick. In Israel, I'm also going to get on you on the subject. There's technology that is made by the United States government that you would be surprised and quite shocked that we are civilians in the civilian world is about 20 to 45 years behind. Now, Israel, my question to you is that true? Is that true? I need you to interject. Is that true? Because he served. Shout out to any of my individuals who served in the 5 branches of government. I have the highest love, respect, au revoir, respect, salute, all of that. Now, my question to you is, you know that gotta be true.
First of all, I'm gonna say this: just because I was in service don't mean a nigga know everything. Like there's some shit that's above my pay grade. You feel me?
That's true. That's true.
Some shit that's above my pay grade.
They done got to this nigga before he got out.
I'm telling you,
nigga don't say nothing, nigga.
They hit him with that.
You better not say shit.
They hit him with that Men in Black.
Right? They hit me with the shit like. Damn, I don't know shit.
Some will argue the last most informed president we had was George H.W. Bush
And
Sr.
I tell you that's bullshit. And the reason why is because, listen, any information that has to do with like UFOs, any of that type of shit, it may have been like secretive knowledge that only governments have known, but like the public is like known of some sort. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things like you wait. How can I say it? It's like I can't find a good metaphor or a good comparison right now. But
it's been years before the United States admit that Area 51 exists. It took a dude named by the name of Bob Lazar to come out and say that Area 51 does exist. And more than 20 years later, the United States of America finally admit that Area 51 even exists.
But do y'all
now? Hey. The plot thickens when Bob Lazar stated that we are reverse engineering technology that doesn't come from this planet. People were like, he's lying. But he wasn't lying about Area 51. He wasn't lying about new elements on the periodic table. Now, I'm not going to go into detail. And there's some shit I can't even talk about right now. There's some shit I know
you better not
that I cannot share
nigga, I ain't trying
on
to
the
get shot.
camera.
Exactly, nigga, I'm good.
With
I don't
my
know
audience.
shit.
Let that sink in.
I'm dumb.
Use Google, but use it to your discretion.
All right, Kev, what were you going to say?
I just want to say this. It's simple. It was a law created to hold information for 50 or what, like anywhere between 40 to 60 years before they can give the information out publicly. They have to give the information out publicly after a certain amount of years. So with that being said, of course there's been a lot of shit going on. And they wasn't able to give you the information then, but they can give it to you now.
So you saying
you got to give it away now? You
saying that the declassification of unidentified flying objects are now 40, 50, 60 years old? Actually, I might agree 99% because we have proof that there's been unidentified flying objects in every culture separated by time and distance.
Nigga, you've been watching Ancient Aliens again, haven't you? Mm-hmm.
No, maybe so. I don't
You gotta think about it like this though. The U.S. government, any government, don't waste money to do anything. They're not going out of space for nothing. They ain't going to go collect rocks and all that bullshit. They know what's up there. They going up there to figure out what's going on. Like,
I think on that part, I think it's two different things.
He's talking about the Black Project. He's talking about the Black Budget Project.
I have no idea what the Black Budget Project is. I'm just talking about big government shit. Hold on, before you get into that, I'm just talking about big government shit. All I'm saying is that it's only two reasons why motherfuckers is like leaving Earth, leaving this blue rock. And the first one is exploration because, we humans and we somehow found a way to fuck up the fucking marble that we're floating on out in this universe. So we're like, well, shit, now we got to go find a whole nother planet to fuck up. You know what I'm saying? It's colonialism as it's always been throughout human history, except now instead of going to other continents, we going into space.
But we also got bunch of territorial motherfuckers that feel like, oh, you're not about to invade.
Why you think
my area?
But that's
you gonna invade me? Oh, okay.
Hold on.
Coming back.
But that's the second thing besides human colonialism, which is an underlying sense of survival in this whole grand scheme of thing, or greed, or however you want to look at it. The second thing is they know something that, of course, we've been trying to get answers to all along. There's only one or two things, and my thing when it comes to the latter is motherfuckers always knew. We're not stupid. As a society, we may be dumb, like you may have like motherfuckers no common sense, but as a society, we all as a collective know that something is up. We may not have the answer, but we know something is fucking up.
I'm gonna let you know something right now. And this I have to speak in a way without revealing what I know, because I don't want to put my family and friends in danger. Question everything. Look at the numbers. Look at the science.
Why the fuck you think we about to have a space force? There's about to be a war for territory on space.
I don't think it's gonna be an intergalactic space battle quite yet. The reason why I say that is because with this, information that's been released for like 2 years now or some shit like that.
There's a conspiracy.
Okay, look, it's been governmental release of UFO information for the past 2 years. Will say, nigga, if there was gonna be an intergalactic war, that shit would have already happened. Like that shit would have already been popping.
Let me tell you something.
And even
I got
if
2
it's not
cents.
something that's popping
I got 2
now,
cents, y'all.
Go ahead.
So do y'all know that they just started flying aircraft 50 feet above Earth?
What you mean?
Like,
elaborate.
I think I don't know if it was Jeff Bezos. It was one of them. They had a project where they took their spaceship and spaceships are starting to be able to, fly more vertically. So they fly vertically up and they starting to fly over the normal, whatever you call it.
He's talking about spaceships that are designed.
They're designing aircraft now to fly over
they go against the grain of physics.
Yeah, they flying aircraft.
Like aerodynamics, you could throw that out the window. Everything you know about aerodynamics, throw that out the window.
Yeah.
He's talking about what I would state.
If you think I'm lying, look it up. If you think I'm lying, look it up. Aircraft is flying above Earth now. It's not just in the atmosphere no more. You're not just going through clouds and shit no more. You're going.
I don't see that as a defiance of physics, though. I see it as human ingenuity.
No.
Solving the answers to physics. The reason why I say that is because some of these aircrafts that you're talking about, I know what you're talking about. They're aircrafts that have capabilities
of going to space, mid-space,
mid-space. What it is that it's almost like doing a bunny hop, essentially. Yeah. What you're doing is you just able to go up into a certain atmosphere where it's
stratosphere,
whatever the sphere is, one of them, where it's 0 G's, and then what it does, it's almost like a leap and a bound, like a bunny hop, you go up, you get to the 0 G's point, you know what I'm saying? You're there for a little bit, then you come back down, and you go back up, or whatever that shit is. That's why I don't see it as necessarily us going against science. It's just us figuring out what we can do with what we have in terms of our knowledge of science.
This is what
I feel you. I feel you on that.
This is what changes when you see technology that is impossible or not relevant to what human ingenuity can create. And let me give you an example. When the United States Navy on their radar found an aircraft going in one direction more than Mach 10. Mm-hmm. And it changes direction immediately, expeditiously. It changes the direction, whereas though mathematically speaking, it's impossible. Now, I'm not a math expert, and shout out to Mr. McDuffie. He would know I'm not good at math. because
Shout out to Norman.
Yeah, right. Shout out to Norman. He know I'm not good at math, but it doesn't take the mathematician to know that if an object going to Mach 10 this way, and in less than a fraction of a second do this, that's not possible.
But see, it's
everybody's face would be like obliterated.
Apparently, it is possible because it happened. That's why, like, what I'm going into is that, like, even when it comes to UFOs, because, like, I believe that, you know, like, aliens and all that shit exists. I'm not gonna go into like. Hold on, wait. Say, put a pin in it. Put a pin in it.
Remember this, boy.
Put a pin in it. But what I'm saying is that just because we don't have the answers to it doesn't mean that it defies the laws of the universe.
True.
What is an alien?
If you have
what is an alien?
What is an alien? Well, to me, alien is anything that was not born on this floating fucking rock.
By definition, Jesus Christ is an alien. By definition, Jesus Christ is an alien. Am I wrong or right?
I'm going to disagree with you on that, but that's because
Jesus Christ was born on Earth.
We gonna wait.
Was he born on Earth?
Wait. I know,
woman.
but I know what he's getting at. Listen,
shit.
okay. So before we get into this, the reason why like the whole like using what you call alien technology theory, the reason why that's such a, I'm gonna use my favorite word that you like to point out, nuance. The reason why it's so nuanced is because ancient aliens or like the whole alien theorist shit has been used to disprove human ingenuity, specifically
pyramids.
No. Yeah, pyramids. Specifically black human ingenuity. For some reason,
Tucumán in Mexico.
Yeah, for some reason, ancient aliens or ancient alien theorists have used their theories and whatever that they have on their side to disprove.
And it makes sense.
It does, but it doesn't. They use it to disprove. Listen. They use it to disprove the evolution and the capabilities of early humans. Like pretty much they use it as a way of saying, oh, humans couldn't have done this on their own back in the day. Like in Rome, where there are like aqueducts and shit.
Like
or
how they
like
built that platform with the rocks perfectly balanced the whole one.
Well, not even that shit, but just like
when you have 225 tons of granite and not even a single human hair can get between the crevices.
Yeah, but what makes you think that a human can't figure out that mathematics? Why does it have to be an alternate source that's not even up
and
here?
I'm not defending that.
And the reason, and that's why I'm saying like
their defense would be like, well, we can't do the same thing that they did thousands of years ago.
Yeah, you can't do it, but that just means you didn't have like
technology.
There you go, and that's what I'm saying. The gray area between aliens and ancient aliens and humans and human civilizations. Excuse me, I'm a little sauce myself. Is that
sauce?
If you look at early civilizations, they were all what? They were all black. They weren't white. They were all like either indigenous, Afro-indigenous, or black. And so when you tried
civilization that was making archaeological technology pointing towards Orion Belt or the stars,
or use
Tucumán, which is in Mexico, pyramids in Egypt, it reflect Orion belts, and there wasn't Greco-Roman.
Exactly.
They had a form of tint to their skin. It was black.
Exactly.
Brown.
Is it so hard to believe that Machu Picchu, the people that had civilized Machu Picchu, is it so hard to believe that they couldn't figure out the astrology and how the planets work and how mathematics, the same way that Islam's and people in the Middle East or not even dating before Islam, how they were able to use mathematics and science in order to figure shit out?
Will say this though.
Man, fuck them ancient aliens. What the fuck you do?
Ancient alien.
You ain't bring the caveman no Zippo when we was trying to figure out fire. You mean?
This is a scary thing though, and some things I still can't say. I'm gonna never say on TV.
Y'all watch Jeopardy, right?
Hold on, before you interject. Hold on.
What is Einstein for 500?
Before you, I'm just saying, like, there's actually a commonality between every ancient civilization that's separated by time and distance, and that separational.
What is that?
difference or
I know what he's
commonality
talking about.
is the fact that they all point to Orion. So it's almost like, wait a minute, hear me out. When you look at the star system in those days, and I'm not trying to like add light onto ancient aliens. I know my friends look at me like, what the fuck you talking about?
Like light years, right?
No. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about the fact that they still looked at the astrology, like the stars.
Light years.
They use it as measurement.
The fact that you have Mesopotamia, which is now modern day Iraq. Please fact check me. You have Egypt with the pyramids. You have Machu Picchu,
South America.
I'm so sorry. South America. And what's in Mexico? Tehuacan. The fact that they build structures that are reflecting the Orion's belt, separated by time, space, which is distance. It almost seemed like they was told to do so. There is a missing hidden narrative in that perspective. And I'm not an ancient thing. When I'm not.
What is light years for 500?
I'm not an ancient. I'm not an ancient alien conspiracist. I'm a realist, and what I realize is there is something missing from that puzzle. Now, I do agree with you. There is some ingenuity. It's not, humans are very smart. We got disconnected by watching at the stars. We got disconnected by not having our feet in the soil and having those ions narrate through our body and let us open our mind and soak in knowledge like a sponge.
So what you can consider for biblical reference as like a divide between man and knowledge is the Tower of Babel. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just a simplistic way of looking at like the loss of knowledge between old man and new man.
Yes.
Same thing.
But some will argue,
like,
even I can hear right now. So, shout out to my extreme atheist friends. Some will argue that Tim, but it's Lucifer.
It doesn't
who
matter.
brought the knowledge in a sense.
It doesn't
he told
matter.
us go against the grain of God.
Okay, so it does.
Eat the apple from the tree to get knowledge.
It doesn't matter between. Okay, but see, you're looking at it from a standpoint that comes from what Catholicism was put into Christianity in terms of.
You're right.
Catholicism input that type of shit in order to deter the general population from looking up alternative knowledge.
Right now. I ain't saying you wrong
knowledge
now.
outside
You
the
right.
church. Yeah.
Smart ass.
Okay, so anyway.
Continue.
getting away from that. So whether or not it's a Tower of Babel or any other like ancient travesty or tragedy that has somehow severed any sort of knowledgeable ties between us and them, whether it be that or the Library of Alexandria. Yeah, I'm a smart ass nigga. I hear y'all over there fucking.
The Library.
I hear you.
Can you imagine the Library of Alexandria was so like here? Oh my God,
I wish I could have read some of the books. But the point is that there's always been some sort of like story of a disconnect when it comes to like knowledge, some sort of like big fucking tragedy. So
I mean,
listen,
think
he
about
brought
this
this shit up.
Think about it like this.
He brought this shit.
We live in a world where
they make me take shots at Everclear. And then want to talk about knowledge.
That nigga do shit.
That was like chug.
You try to force me to take shots at Everclear. Now look at him. Now I'm drinking blue.
Now I'm lost.
I said, bitch, if you don't drink that Everclear, you gonna die right now. Bitch, you lie.
Drink this
It's some nigga just snapping in my head the whole time. Like
we live in a world where we think we the first at everything. We think that we're the first in flight. We think that we're the first in neutron, plutonium capabilities.
That shit pisses me off. How we think we the first people to fly.
We're not. We're not
the
the first to fly.
Wright brothers think they was the first ones to fucking fly.
We're not the first.
That shit
when it
pisses
comes
me
to
off.
Nuclear energy.
My people was the first people to fly. Back in the day,
India,
Africa.
They have Vimana. I want you to look that up. Look up the word Vimana. They said that there was battles in the sky and cities was destroyed by catastrophe. In these same cities, look it up. U-R. The same name of the city is U-R. Scientists found rocks that's vulturized or volcanic, like melting. And the only way that can happen is through nuclear fusion. Well, I'm getting at this. He said it earlier. History has a way of repeating itself. And I feel like I disconnect to history is troubling. The fact that we already had nuclear war thousands of years ago, and it's mentioned in India Vedic texts when they talk about Vimana, cities in the sky destroying other cities, shooting fires and the dragons of destruction. That's the same in a sense now when it comes to your best friend in North Korea testing nuclear capabilities. We're gonna switch subject.
All right, home. Before we switch subject, before we switch up and get on some ignorant shit, and before I take a leap, like to wrap all that shit up, like. Yeah, sure. I believe in like aliens and I believe in UFOs and I believe in all that shit, but I also believe in the power of the human. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, sure, aliens have been around for God knows how long, and yeah, there's been proof, in hieroglyphs and fucking stone carvings across all civilizations that have no way of connecting themselves to each other. All civilizations
that has no way. Continue. I'm sorry.
But the point that I'm saying is that only means that there is something out there greater than ourselves that our earlier ancestors were able to peep. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean that we were necessarily like, given everything, given all the jewels. It just means that we are all connected by something in some way. You feel me? Like, don't mean we ain't figure shit out by ourselves. But I'm gonna leave it on that, and I'm gonna let y'all get some ignorant shit.
All right. So next subject, please. What's the next subject? My homeboy Israel had to take a leak. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Great Apes Cafe. Like, subscribe, share. What's the next subject?
I'm not gonna lie, y'all had me lost on these last couple of. That made me feel ignorant.
Feel like he got a drink.
Yeah. These niggas made me feel ignorant.
Ladies and gentlemen, look what he's drinking. My God. This bitch crazy.
Hey, but that thing tore your mind up, ain't it? You might as well keep that by you, brother.
Yeah, you might keep that because I ain't gonna want no part taking no. Good God.
You know what though? It's so crazy that Trump got out of office now. It's like hard to find political subjects now.
That was not the subject.
We had so much to talk about. It seems like the world is boring now.
I really need more alcohol.
For real, the world is boring now. It's not much to get us.
One thing I like about Trump is that he shook
the foundation.
No. I know my colleagues are like, what? Giving him props.
Cheers.
One thing I like about the Donald Trump. Cheers. The one thing I like about the Donald is the fact that he can't drink his alcohol. Sad. At least he ain't wasting. He did drink it. It's that he showed America how racist we still are, or he showed America what we still need to work on. And for those who look at me like
you only work on something.
For those who look at me like Tim, I love Donald Trump. How dare you say something like that? I'm gonna let you know I don't like the political establishment on both sides of the aisle. I don't like Biden and I don't like Trump. So I have my freedom of speech and I have my freedom of thought. I live in the United States of America. And I think that we all should have that ideology. Welcome back. Did you wash your hands, sir?
I can tell y'all one thing.
Oh, no, man.
Hold on, I just want to say one thing. I'm gonna tell y'all one thing I noticed about Trump, though. And I'm not giving credit to nobody. You know what I'm saying? I just want y'all to understand. But as I realized as Trump took on the criticism from his own people, he started realizing how important it was to get to know different people. If you really check him out, like Trump started,
I disagree with Cool Kev.
Man, no, Trump started off 1%. Kind of wrong. Well, a lot of wrong.
When Trump wanted to run for president, he didn't care who political party he represented. He just wanted to run for president.
Hold on, what I just walk in?
But no,
Bro,
I was trying
I'm basically telling them that
they giving props to Trump, and I said the only
I ain't giving no damn props to Trump.
I'm just trying to tell you.
I said the only thing I like about Trump.
Wait.
I said Trump. Let me know how racist America still is.
And he said he let.
Am I wrong?
He said he glad that Trump let people know what we still got to work on. And then what I was trying to tell him
it's a lot. What I was trying to tell him,
it's no reason.
Even black people.
It's no reason to work on it because America's not going to change. So why work on something that's not going to change? It's not going to change. It's not going to.
Hold on. What?
Racism in America is not going to change.
Bro,
I want to hear what Kev say. Go ahead.
When Trump took on the criticism of his own people, bro.
When you say his own people, like, can you specify?
No, I'm talking about.
QAnons?
White people.
The same race people of his own kind.
Let's go ahead and say, man, white people.
Yeah, white folk.
I seen Trump.
You say niggas?
He tried to switch it up a little bit. Man.
But
Try to switch it up a little bit. That's
So,
all I'm saying. Just a little bit.
What you mean by switching?
No. I'm trying to see what he's getting at. So what you're saying is you may not agree with the motherfucker, but you understand where his tactics lied. Like what he was like doing.
All Trump read was the art of war.
I'm saying Trump started getting
all Donald Trump read was the art of war. That's all he really read.
Man, Trump is like a real,
am I wrong?
Beach guy. He's the, white collar guy, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's
but
like.
Once he realized that, all his people are not going to agree with him, it kind of took him to a different mentality of realizing what was going on.
Trump knew he can persuade uneducated white folk who are the majority. But think about this.
Talk.
Uneducated white folk make up majority of America.
Talk.
So he knew if I can persuade them, yes, if I could persuade them to agree with me because they're looking for something, they feel out of place. So he knew if I could reach them, I'm good.
Prime example: how many uneducated white folks live in Brunswick and Columbus County and voted for Trump? I'll wait.
Plenty.
My drink.
That's why he's not going nowhere. There will be a reinsurge of Trump.
There's a few. There's a few now.
I say yes.
It might not be him, but he's gonna have a big part. And what is it?
Oh my gosh! I hate the subject.
I say yes and no to it, and I'm gonna give you both sides to it. I say yes.
I hate the subject. Oh, I got a headache.
I say yes because any residuals from any president is bound to have an effect on the greater community as a whole. That's always been the case, no matter like what president has come up post presidency of whatever, whoever had the reins before. You always see the effects of it. When Obama was president, the bills and all the things that all the shit that he put into like signature, you don't see the effects during his presidency. You see the effects after his presidency. It's the same thing with Trump. You don't see the effects of it. You might not see all the effects of it right away, but you will see it like post his presidency. So I agree with you that residuals of Trump's legacy have left echoes throughout, the conservative community and those that, really back whatever it is that he's pushing. But I also say no. I also disagree with it too, because on the flip side, it's like what Tim was saying. Even though Trump becoming president was probably one of the most fucked up things that happened, like in terms of like a presidential election, it really made us see like the truth behind America. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no more veil. I feel like once Trump became president, there was no more fucking curtain to hide America's hypocrisy when it comes to race, and when it comes to the policies governing race, when it comes to the equity behind it, when it comes to all that shit.
We just need to be educated about it. I mean, separationalism is a big shit. And I just know that in my heart of hearts, that if I had my black colleagues, some will argue with the statement of Black Lives Matter and a bunch of black people and or people who is not of the Anglo-Saxon walk up to the White House. I'm sorry, that wasn't the White House. Walk up to the Capitol and have a provocative situation to challenge the United States of America, which your definition is what? Insurrection? Treason. I would say that they would have been killed. It would have been a bloody massacre. But I saw in the insurrection on CNN and on Fox News that you had people who was working as security guard or as a police, hey, just come on in. Go ahead and walk through the fucking Capitol.
Yeah,
raise your flags to let you know that you have power. And what troubles me, and on a macro point of view, the reason why I'm not mad, it's trouble. It does trouble me. But on a macro point of view, the country needed to see this so we can learn from how we can actually have a form of progression. And I'm not mad at Trump. I know a lot of my black colleagues would disagree. Like, dude, you shouldn't even be saying some shit like that. I'm not mad at Trump. Trump need to show the world exactly what America is.
But that's why
and where we need to be at. When I hear
I'm trying to say that in some form and fashion.
I'm
trying to say that
standing up.
I'm trying to say
no. Put them statues down, but don't just destroy them. Put them in a museum so that way I can let my son know how racist America still is with the KKK. America spelled with the KKK.
Yeah.
Continue. I'm sorry.
America's built on racism. It's always going to be racist.
The 14th Amendment is in facts. Are your 14th Amendment really being utilized? And am I wrong with that number of amendment?
You talking about the 13th Amendment?
I could be. I don't know.
13th Amendment was the loophole that allowed America to get away with essentially slave labor with the prison industrial system.
I'm talking about people getting their rights, which I believe is 14.
Who y'all think started all this free money shit?
What you mean, like reparations and stuff?
Who y'all think started all this free money shit?
What you mean? But what
you mean by free money?
All these people talking about, yo, we staying home, we ain't working no more. Like,
okay, that shit.
Okay. Biden just do like, yo, I put more on that shit. You know
okay,
what
all right.
I'm saying?
So I'm with you on the whole.
Come on, but y'all like,
money
but
shit.
everybody sitting,
Hold on.
Everybody's sitting at home like, yo, I ain't even got to go to work.
I disagree. Because my thing is like, I disagree with both sides. I disagree with the whole conservative end of like getting rid of all the assistance, but I'm also like on the fence when it comes to the Democrats about, just giving away more and more. The reason why I say that is because the issue does not lie within those getting unemployment. The issue lies within the workforce not getting proper compensation for the work that's being put in.
Compensation.
And this is the thing that I'm saying. Trump was just a businessman. I don't care.
A terrible one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He was broke.
Yeah.
My conspiracy, he was broke going into the White House. He made more money than he had. That's what. And people get mad at me.
That's like, okay, listen.
People get so mad at me when I say they be like, "Oh, Trump." I'm like, Trump was going in bankruptcy before he went to presidency. He made more money. They be like, "Oh, he gave away his checks." That nigga made more money in a weekend than he made all year with them checks. He'd go take him to the golf course, motherfucker. Y'all gonna pay me for the security staying there. Y'all gonna pay me for having to shut down my business because I'm here. Like that nigga was scheming. Every weekend he was going there, he was making millions of dollars. For him being there at his own shit.
Man, you gotta just look at, man, if y'all understand what I'm saying, man, you gotta look at that shit on both sides.
No, that's what I'm saying.
You gotta look at it on both sides, man. Like, I don't care, like, I know people be like, yo, that's cool.
Let me interject. You always have to remember this. And this is why I tell my colleagues, both sides on the aisle who support Trump, both white and black who support Trump. There was people who supported Hitler. There was people in the regime of Hitler.
How did Hitler
before it became illegal?
He bought into America.
Listen. When she stole from Egypt, the swastika been out thousands of years before Europe.
You know how
before Germany. But let me interject.
I'm gonna let him talk.
So what I'm getting at is you had people who actually followed this man in his indoctrination and ideology.
Tim, tell her where Hitler got his ideology from.
I'm not mad.
But where did Hitler get his ideology from?
It's multiple stories of where he got the ideology from.
But what's my homie talking about though?
When you talk about where Hitler got his ideology from.
Come on with it. Come on.
Go ahead and say it.
It's on the tip of your tongue.
Go ahead and say it. Come on.
So he read publication in the Americas by slave owners. Now you can Google this and you can fact check me, but I know I'm 99% right on this. And he figured out how can he have a nation follow him. And it's a great sadness because it's like he copied America. And when he did that, listen, by me making that statement, I'm gonna tell you what's more important. not only he copied a form of how to colonize people or how to control people, but how to justify the extermination and letting others support that. He copied something that in the form is still happening today.
Well, that goes back to history repeating itself.
You look at the form, you look at the prison industrial complex, and it's a great sadness.
Well,
history does repeat. You absolutely right.
Yeah.
Even not considering the prison industrial complex, let's look at it like this. All right, let's look at the process of how followers were gained. All right, so like you said, we'll go with symbolism, the swastika. All right, so what's
Which
the
is
modern
very
day?
powerful. I'm mad that he copied that from Egypt.
Very
powerful.
What's the modern day symbolism that's used to condone supremacy? Now, they can not just Confederate flag, the Punisher logo. Anywhere you go,
skull.
think about it now. Anywhere you go, when you see the Punisher logo, what do you associate it with?
Radical writers.
Exactly. It's no different than what happened in Nazi regime Germany when the swastika was taken from
Egypt.
Egypt or
And it's
India.
if you look at the history of that swastika,
yeah,
and it wasn't even called swastika.
no, it was a sign
was
of prosperity, a sign of
very
peace.
powerful.
So it's no different. You're taking a sign and you're subverting it into something else. These patterns that you're seeing are, like you said, history.
Now,
history
next
repeating
you
itself.
need a race to blame your problems on.
Microphone check. You need a what?
So the next thing you need is a race of people to blame the problems on.
Mm-hmm.
He
Great
said
sadness.
the Jews were creating the problem in Germany with around this time. What was it? In America, the Great Depression.
Well, there's a Great Depression here, and then
Yeah.
in Germany, they were in a Great Depression too after World War I.
Exactly, and he was saying the Jews were
Right.
part of the bank system. They were the problem.
Right.
So there now you got your symbol. Now you got your people. Now all you had to do was find a way to make everybody, you know what I'm saying, like buy into that.
Agree.
Yeah, you got to.
What you do,
yeah.
what you do is that you
Control the news
implement
source.
you implement distrust in anything that
By
is
controlling the
not
media.
of value. Not just controlling the media, but it's the implementation of an ideal
Ideology.
or of an ideal. Like it's that implementation. That's why you have so many conservatives that are so keen on the false media tagline.
Which is why I say
You know.
question everything. I understand, DJ. You want me to,
But
want me to, like,
that's
knock
the
this out.
idea of taking question everything and it's taking two oxymorons and trying to pair them together. It goes back to what I was saying about nerd. Remember, I was saying nerd bars only Siths deal in absolutes. It's like you trying to take the ideal of dealing in absolutes and trying to put it in with the ideal of
If you
questioning
ain't a nerd,
everything.
that went over your head. I'm gonna let you know right now, because I can imagine
But
niggas
if
who
you
don't know what
sit
that
down
statement.
and really listen to what we're saying, like it makes sense. Like
Yeah, peep the math.
yeah,
It all makes it all
just
adds
makes
up.
sense.
It all adds up. But yeah,
Even as
that's all
simple
it
as
is.
minded person could sit there and realize that, you know.
Mhm.
I think when it comes, and for some reason, I'm not mad at Trump. It's just let me know how much America need to work on itself.
I'm mad
But
at
you're a black,
I'm
but,
mad at Trump.
but you're a black man, so it doesn't. So I get what you're saying. Like you're happy that it showed, but you know what I'm saying. We here
I'm
knew.
gonna let you know something.
I-
no, I'm not. I'm not
the
gonna say-
world knew.
I don't like
We've
that
been
statement.
knew.
No.
I don't see it as that. If you don't mind me interjecting real quick, what I see it as is that you're not necessarily angry at Trump. You have been able to channel whatever anger or frustration that you have with the situation into other shit, but you more so have an understanding of what. Put it like this: whatever decision you make is outside of any other realm of decision that they make. It's out of your realm of control.
Right.
You understand that. You get that.
I do
But-
understand. I do understand why it happened.
Exactly.
I understand the manipulation of propaganda, which Hitler did it beautifully. I do understand why it happened when it comes to control of information, and that you have individuals following extreme separationalism groups. I don't like the ideology of a faction saying that they support this or that. I like the humanitarian faction of just being human, you know. But not everybody see from my perspective. Everything has a cause and effect. You know what I mean? So like, all right, Trump happened. The cause would someone argue is Black Lives Matter. You know what I mean? Or
Wait.
anti oh yeah, think about it. The anti situation of against Trump.
BLM started before
Why-
Trump was even president.
That's what I'm about to say. So
BLM did start
why
before
do you
Trump,
think? That's
but
what I'm saying.
became much more empowered? Do you think they became much more energized because of Trump? Because let me tell you something.
I don't think they became more energized because of Trump per se. I think
Not
they
immediately.
No, not even immediately. I think the energizing came from the fact that there is a shift within the country, the fact that you have someone taking up the reins of power that essentially sees.
So indirectly, he still. So I get. So indirectly, he had a hand in making it. So
I'm gonna say that the indirect faction is this: you had some people. He said statements that resonated with what people actually think in their hearts. They think that because they think all the rhetoric that he said, you have some people who believe in that. I disagree with all the rhetoric that Donald Trump have in Biden. I don't like the whole form of politics. I don't like how it just
American politics.
American
Let's just say
politics.
that, yeah.
It creates separationalism, just like religion does. And I hate religion. I believe in God, but I hate religion.
How can I control the people if they're all together? We have to separate it.
No.
This is part of the plan.
But to have separation is control. Because if I control the narrative, it doesn't matter if whatever I say is true or false.
Well, that's pretty
As
much
long
what
as
he's
you
saying.
understand
Yeah.
the narrative, then I have power, no matter if it's wrong. And then when you think about the ideology, you think about how many times Trump said something that's false. Even now, as I speak, Trump said more false allegations about a lot of bullshit in comparison to your best friend Biden. And I don't like both parties. They trash.
But
in
how is
America.
he able to peddle those lies?
Because he pulled the heartstrings on the conspiracy ideology. And one thing I like about conspiracies,
So
they
it's
do have truth.
he
They
pulled
do have merit, but it's not always 100%
he
truth.
pulled on he pulled on the heartstrings of your traditional Christian or
course.
Judaism.
Let me say that racism is bad, or they would argue racism is bad. However, I'm Christian. But that's self-contradiction.
No.
That's a self-contradiction in itself, ain't it?
So the reason why you have so many conservatives that
I know you want me to give me like 2 more minutes. Promise.
5 more minutes because I gotta interject.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So the reason why you have so many like conservative Christians that don't see anything wrong with what they're doing, or even or how they completely just dispel the notion of being a racist, is because of the fact that so much of what they believe is put into the convictions of not only what they believe, but what Trump believes. And even though like people don't want to acknowledge the extreme contradictions between the two, because there's a certain correlation between the two, or a certain collab between the two meshing of ideas, that's where you get like conservative Christians that are like, oh, well, I'm not a racist. I just believe this, and this, not understanding or not wanting to understand that what you believe in is
said it for me.
Implicitly, exactly. It's implicitly racist.
And I agree.
And the reason why it gets a pass in those circles is because, and why they don't think it's not racist, is because it's so ingrained into their conservative religious thinking.
Bingo.
Which is crazy.
He already said it for me.
Because the thing about it, and I agree with you 97%. I'm gonna give you the 97% why I agree. You always remember this. In America, you have people who believe that being a slave was a right, and
it's a
or
privilege.
rather
It's a privilege to be a fucking slave.
Yeah, it's a privilege to be a fucking piece of property.
And you need to be a piece of property, and I need to worship God in the name of Jesus, and I'm Christian, and therefore I am a part of the indoctrination of what people consider Christianity.
Hot
But
take.
in a macro point of
Hold
view,
on.
that's not Christ-like.
Hot take
Because
before we
even
wrap
Christ,
it up, though.
even in the Bible, it's stated that slavery is a sin. But how do you say that? Look at the book of Moses.
Hot take before
The
we wrap
book
this
of-
subject up, though, bro. Listen.
Look at
For as
how
long as-
the Exodus. Look at the Exodus. Moses lead his people through the Red Sea away from what?
Away from
Out of
bondage.
bondage, away from slavery.
Now, peep this. The reason why none of this surprises me is for as long as this country has been founded, racism and Christianity or religion has always been
And I think
hand in hand.
I think
And the reason why is because it comes with it has to do with power, and it has to do with actually power. Yeah, we're just gonna say power. It's power. It's a power thing.
right.
It's a controlling thing. You know what
Well-
I'm saying? And that's why it doesn't surprise me to see the kind of Christian conservative backing that we see nowadays modernized along with modernized racism. You know, like
right. Or I'm not even worried about the KKK. I'm worried about the people who take off their suits and who laundromat is going to wash all
worried
these
about-
white capes for them to put on the suit. That's what I'm worried about.
No.
Before I switch subject,
I'm worried about the ones that give the news. I'm worried about the ones who teach my kids.
that's
one.
what I'm
that
worried
part.
about. That part. Let me switch subject. I have one last subject. DJ Barbarian, I'm so sorry. I know he wanted us to wrap this up. I need you to give me 3 to 5 more minutes. The last subject I want to hit because I have to moderate like Whoopi Goldberg. Shout out to Whoopi Goldberg from The View. Very talented moderator.
Why are you going to eat my ass later on today?
Hey,
Let her know. Tell her we're doing a pod. We're podding right now.
I'm taking the bottle.
Nah, man.
Tell her we podding, man.
Wait. What I'm getting at is this.
Nah,
So
man.
Kev wanted to have dialogue about a situation that happened with a ship, United States of America.
It's just more of an opinion.
Okay,
Oh,
hear me
he's
out.
scared now.
Yeah.
Nigga, they coming for you. He's scared now.
Give me-
Nah,
give me-
No, they ain't coming for it. I
Give
want to
me
hear
5 more
it.
minutes.
I want to hear it. Go ahead, man.
So, you know, the whole thing I'm saying is, all right, you got 2 ships coming to America.
Mhm.
All right. Why is it being pressed so hard? This is like breaking news. You know what I mean?
He right. Let me tell you something about America.
I don't know if y'all paying attention to this or not.
Hold on,
But you-
I'm about to pose something to you. How many breaking news situations have gone on out the history of America that never made it back to being breaking news in the hood?
You know why?
Back on that.
You know why
Many.
though? You know why?
Because it doesn't matter in the hood.
It don't. But at the end of the day, this
The
be
hood
the-
go by a different
this is
law.
this is how it start.
A different faction.
You find out a piece of the information and then it goes astray.
There,
You wonder why.
I grew from 94%.
You wonder why a couple things happened later on, and you forgot about the fact that
I see
where
what
it
you're
even
saying.
started at.
I see what you're saying. You're trying to
Because
peep
somebody trying
before
to
some
hide
shit
it. Somebody
happens.
trying to hide it later.
I feel what you're saying.
You
You're
know
trying
what
to
I'm
you're trying to peep the possibility of something that might pop off later. And
Yeah.
you want to make sure that you're able to connect the dots. So if that way something does pop off later, you can be like, oh, well, I peeped that this, and this was happening, even though no one else did. And I
Yeah.
think it might be connected. The reason why I don't put no stake in that, and there's nothing against like whatever you feel, whatever you think. It's just my own personal thing. The reason why I don't put no stake in that, and this is doing part to like what I've peeped knowledge-wise over the years, is that there's so much shit that happens that we don't know about.
Yeah.
Whether it's, 2 ships entering, American
say
waters, or whether it's, like other stuff going on behind the scenes that I go back to like it being in the realm of stuff
Israel
that I
would know.
can't control.
He served. He would know. Let me tell you something.
I don't know everything. Don't listen to this
Let me
nigga.
say something.
I don't know everything. All right.
Let me
That nigga
interject.
know enough.
Let me say
That nigga
something.
know enough.
I know. Listen, everything I know, I collected jewels from when I was not in the service.
I
Keep
wanna-
that.
hear me
Was
out, hear
not
me
in the
out.
service when I
Yeah.
learned this shit.
Hear me out. Anybody who's a civilian Do not trust everything propaganda. But I will say this though: we have 5 branches of government. We have high levels of intel. We
You
spend
said 5 branches. That's 3.
okay.
That's why I'm over here.
Listen, he said it.
I thought 5.
He said the whole. He said the whole episode. I was gonna let him.
What's the
Enlighten
other
me.
2? What's the other 2 then?
Navy, Air Force,
Nigga, that's
Army,
Nigga, that's the Department of Defense. That's the military.
Well, bitch,
We
you know what I
talking
mean.
about. Hold on. Wait.
He's talking like judicial executive.
No.
I was gonna let that shit slide.
Wait. He's talking about judicial,
My
legislative,
man said
executive.
that it's 5 branches of government. My man said it's the Space Force. It's the Navy.
Bitch, you know what I mean?
We got some new shit going on.
I was gonna
He's
let
trying
slide,
to say
bro.
about judicial, executive,
let shit
legislative. Yeah, he right when I say judicial, executive, legislative. But I'm not.
You was at another
When I
2.
say
That's
5,
all.
I'm sorry. I'm talking about the military, the Department of Defense, your Navy, your Coast Guard, your Army, your Marines, and Air Force. And the 6th one will be considered Space Force, which is really inflation, a connection of the Air Force. So really, am I wrong?
Coast Guard is in DOD. Coast Guard is Homeland Security. Just so you know.
Oh, you would know, wouldn't you? Anyway,
You
what
couldn't
I'm
ask. Listen, you couldn't ask Curtis these questions, nigga. You had 2 military motherfuckers on this show.
And
You
this
mean
is
to tell
very
me you
true.
couldn't ask
But
him?
I mean to come correct. You know what I mean. But what I'm getting at is, I'm not.
Go ahead.
When I hear about even if let's say that
Ken got drunk when he asked.
Hold on. Let's say that shit has nuclear. Let's say that shit has nuclear
I'm putting
warheads.
my phone up for the rest
I
of the
don't
show.
feel not safe. And I know you're like, what? It's America.
I don't feel safe, bro.
When it comes to anything that comes into our waters,
Yo,
America don't play.
don't do me like that,
God,
bro.
wait a minute. Let's look at the history of America.
Fuck.
I know you like fuck America. You
I
know
was about to say that.
bitch.
Oh, you weren't?
Oh, I'm about to say that.
I'll say it. Fuck
Do
America.
you think we
Oh,
should?
this nigga right.
Israel would
We
know-
see why you see why you with us now. Talking about fuck America.
Hold on. But Israel can't deny this. America do not practice laissez-faire, and we definitely like to police the world. And I would make this last statement. Are you really nervous of another country being nuclear capabilities in our waters? Because I'm
No.
not. But America don't play.
For me,
your ass.
but for me, it don't even have to
Actually-
do with whatever is in the realm of human control. Because at the end of the day, like when it comes to shit that ain't even in my control, why the fuck am I dealing with it? If it ain't fucking with my daily paper, then why the fuck am I gonna scratch
Big
over that
facts.
shit when a blunt can fix everything?
Line up. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Timothy Raw. This is Great Apes Cafe. I have 2 colleagues of mine who is a part of the show.
I guess I need to start
Cool
smoking
Kez. I also got my nigga Tayshawn,
Who that
aka
boy?
Tay-Tay, who
He
that boy,
that
that be
boy.
that boy. And a special guest who's always gonna come on here once in a blue moon. At some point, I need to make him a permanent guest, but he won't let me. But I got my nigga Izzy on here. You know what I mean?
You already know.
We gotta get busy,
like the fourth
boy. This is Great Apes Cafe. My producer's mad at me because I went over time.
Kev gotta go eat ass.
Shout out to DJ Barbarian for the production.
Yo, man.
Shout out to DJ Barbarian for the editing, mixing, and mastering. I'm sorry, English. I'm saucy. I'm saucy.
Man, I've been drinking.
Shout out.
I'm
I've
drunk.
been drinking.
I don't
Shout out
care.
to
Yo,
DJ
I'm not sitting by
Barbarian.
this-
Hey,
I'm
no. Shout out to DJ Barbarian for actually editing and making sure everything come out legit. Very.
I got a
tedious
song
job
for Kev.
indeed. Oh hell no.
I'm not sitting by this motherfucker
Hey,
no
bro,
more,
hey,
bruh.
Like, subscribe,
No
share.
more, bruh.
Until next time, brother Deuce,
See you
a brother Doug.
See you later.
Au revoir, bitch.